Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday's Mental Moment with Dr. Danita. On last Thursday, the baggage claim Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita episode was What About Your Friends? And I had the pleasure of sharing such amazingly refreshing conversation with my three besties. And we talked about, just navigating healthy and maintaining healthy friendships. And I've been talking over these past 6 weeks about various types of relationships and how to navigate when the rocky roads are upon you, and when you hit those bumps in the road that you're seemingly not able to get over or go around. And so if you didn't catch last week's episode, it was absolutely, again, I the word that I had that comes to my mind is just refreshing. And so we shared some of our ways in which we navigated and maintained a healthy friendship. And so head over to my YouTube channel if you didn't get an opportunity to see it, so that you can catch the replay. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that hit that the bell, so that you can catch all of the future episodes. So, tonight I thought that I would highlight some of the responses that were shared on my Instagram page to the question, what qualifies a good friend? So, here are some of the tips that are being shared based on what was shared on the Instagram page. And I'll just highlight a few and expound upon some of the things that were shared. So, number one, a good friend makes time for you. And so when I think about that statement, a good friend makes time for you, of course, time is relative. And so it needs to be defined what kind of time is needed for this particular friendship. And every friendship is different. And so the amount of time that's needed to invest in a friendship really does depend on what stage the friendship happens to be in. So early on in a friendship, it's going to necessitate some extra time, longer periods of time spending together or getting together more often, so that you can lay that healthy foundation. But as your friendship grows, you should be able to navigate your friendship in a healthy way without having to be in each other's space and smothering each other daily. Number two, it is very important for friends to be able to speak the truth in love. One of the statements was that a good friend will tell you when you are not being the greatest version of yourself. And then they won't judge you, but they'll love you to the other side. And so friends that care, from my perspective, friends that care will not see a friend going left or heading for disaster or behaving inappropriately and not check them. In my friendships, we have always been in a place where we cared enough about each other to check each other when it was necessary. And so if you can't check your friend and you can't speak the truth in love, then I would say that it is necessary for you to reevaluate the depth of that friendship. Maybe it's not what you think it is. Number three, practice being vulnerable. Practice vulnerability. True friendship should be safe. It should be safe enough to allow you to be yourself. It should be safe enough for you to show your weaknesses as well as your strengths. And those strengths should not be viewed as in any way as a threat to your friend. And those weaknesses should not be taken advantage of and thrown up in your face. So practicing being vulnerable in a relationship, in a friendship relationship, is absolutely necessary. And you should just be able to be your authentic self. And number four, establish very early on what this friendship is going to look like. I'm talking now about being a bestie, being an intimate friend, having frientimacy. If you are not looking to be intimate, or and I mean being close enough, like making that real covenant with a friend, then you should establish that. You should say, I'm just looking for surfacey. I'm just looking for someone to hang out every now and then. I'm not looking to share, my deepest secrets. That's not what I'm looking for. I just really want an acquaintance. If you are looking to have a deeper friendship, then it needs to be established, and that's something that should be talked about. Talk about the expectations, what kind of time you'll spend together, what your personality types are, what kinds of things you like doing. Talk about, as you grow, what it looks like to hold each other accountable, because good, intimate friends should be able to hold each other accountable. Be on the same page as to what this all means to both of you. Don't just throw words out there without defining what those words mean, because words are not always common. The definitions of, what togetherness looks like, or what accountability looks like, or, expectations, those are not always common. So it is important to define what you mean by what you say. And so those are the 4 tips that I have for this evening. So, you know what? Believe it or not, I have had friends that have come to my office who thought their friendship was important enough to get professional help to save it. They had hit places in the friendship where there was hurt and there was pain, and they just thought, this friendship is worth saving, so we can't seem to do it on our own. We're going to get help. So if you find that you have hit that bump in the road in your friendship, and these tips seem like they are not enough because you are beyond the tip stage and you need someone else to help you navigate through to be able to get back to a place of closeness, and that place of covenant and that frientimacy with your friend, don't think it's strange. Pick up the phone, make the appointment. A good therapist can help. That's my tips for this evening. Please don't forget to join me on Thursday at 7:30 for episode 7 of Baggage Claim, Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita, and we're talking about shipwrecked relationships. This week we're going to focus on God parenting, having a spiritual connection, and how when things arise within that connection and that relationship, how far it can get, but also how reconciliation can take place within the relationship. So join me again Thursday at 7:30. We'll see you then. Have a good one.